Hey, what's up, guys? It's J&J Show, Power 1 on Nothing. I'm actually about to play you guys a clip that Jay and I did a few days ago that is real important, but you got to excuse the audio because, once again, this motherfucker Jay is on location. I swear, man, my partner is always off doing some shit. But actually, this time, I think he's trying to get an interview for you guys with Sandman. Wrestling fans, you already know who the fuck I'm talking about. So we'll see if we can get that shit done. But in the meantime, we had to do something quick about this subject with the government and ISIS and all this other shit. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys real quick. And trust me, next audio will be up to par. But if you put your headphones on and listen real closely, you can still hear everything my man is saying. All right, get to it.
Hey, we on the J&J Show, Power 1 on Nothing. Airstrikes in Syria taking place right now. The president has authorized these airstrikes without Congress approval, congressional approval, should I say. All over this terrible ISIS, Islamic State, Iraq, and Syria. My thoughts on this is ISIS is some boogeyman bullshit. Let me explain what I mean by that. The American government, whenever they want to go to war, or whenever they want to attack a country for financial gain, they always use these bullshit-ass groups as some type of prop to get the American people on their side. Let's call a spade here. We did see the videos on YouTube where ISIS cut off heads. They cut off the head of one journalist, American journalist, James Foley. They cut off the head of Steve Sotloff, another journalist. They cut off the head of a British cab driver, just happened to be over there on a peace mission of some sort. And, you know, Americans see these videos and get fucking scared, and they start feeling like, okay, the U.S. has to do something to protect us before ISIS comes over here and cuts our heads off. And presidents know this, our government knows this, and they use this shit to sell war. Look, the reality is none of us are sitting around fearing fucking ISIS, all right? We're about to go into the movies. No, let's be real. We're going to the movies. We're going to the gym. We're going to go get us some pussy. We're going to go get something to eat. What do you think about no goddamn ISIS over here? So it amazes me how in 2014, American people still fall for this shit. Now listen, I'm not saying that they're not a bad group, and I'm not saying that they haven't done some shit that we need to get at them over. But what I'm saying is the hype is not necessary. All-out war, not necessary. First of all, we're fighting a fucking ideology, okay? When you talk about ISIS, and you talk about Al-Qaeda, and you talk about these groups that hate America and hate the West and hate the British, you're talking about a mindset. So that means we can go in there and bomb all day, every day. But at the end of the day, we're essentially creating more terrorists. Because with all this bombing, you got to remember, you're killing innocent civilians, you're killing children, you're killing women. Folks who have nothing to do with this shit and want no parts of it. And what do you think that does to their families? It turns them into terrorists, essentially. What I think we need to do is to stop blowing shit out of proportion. You know, the American people, think about this. When was the attacks on the World Trade Center?
2001.
September 11th, right?
Yep.
When's the last time some shit went down on our soil?
2001.
So my point is, there's all this paranoia out there. Ain't a damn thing happened since that day. And realistically speaking, we had enough intelligence and enough information at that time that we could have thwarted that attack if motherfuckers were paying attention.
That's true.
Or if you have the belief that the American government was in on it, even then we could have thwarted that attack. I'm not being in on it. You know, I'm not. Everybody has their own beliefs. I'm not saying one way or the other. But the bottom line is, it has come to light that there was intelligence out there that Dick Cheney was aware of, Condoleezza Rice was aware of, George Bush was aware of, that they didn't use. They basically just shoved under the rug and said, fuck. And, you know, what you saw essentially was just that. You saw the towers getting knocked down and, you know, all this pretending like Saddam Hussein had something to do with it. And Bin Laden and all these motherfuckers, you know, one motherfucker in a cave overseas somewhere in the Middle East conspired his whole fucking plane and brought down some of the biggest buildings and killed 3,000 of our American citizens in one morning. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not debating whether or not that was the case. What I'm saying is Can you believe that we allowed that to happen with our level of intelligence?
Yeah.
And our military defense?
So all this intelligence and shit that we got, and one motherfucker with some walkie-talkies and shit, I mean, is really orchestrating this big plan against America, and we couldn't stop it, thwart it. We didn't have anybody telling us, hey, you know what, it looks like something may happen. This is going on. That's going on.
20 motherfuckers with box cutters and some hats.
Yeah.
You know, the fucked up part about it, man, is even to this day, Americans still believe that Iraq and Saddam Hussein were behind 9/11. And it just goes to show you that the American government plays a lot of games when it comes to it. They put half-ass truth out there. They put half-ass facts out there. They don't tell you all the shit. They tell you a little bit of the shit. And motherfuckers buy it, hook, line, and street.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, man.
Hey, you know what, man? It seems like war is pretty much just all they want, because we've been at war ever since then, right? We went into Iraq, and we killed Saddam Hussein, and we go into Afghanistan, and it took us I don't know how many years to finally get bin Laden's ass, and now here comes this Syria thing with ISIS and all that. So I don't know if they're just looking for excuses to go to war, or once they go, they just don't want to ever fucking pull out, because I don't know how many years they were talking about pulling troops out of, Iraq and pulling troops out of Afghanistan, and motherfuckers are still over there, and people still dying and shit.
And you hit right on the head, man. These bullshit-ass wars, there's never any plan. And if there is a plan, we get on fucking cable TV and tell all our business, hey, today we're going to bomb over here. We got motherfucking maps drawn up, motherfucking food caches telling all the business. He has fucking markers on the map telling you exactly where we're going to bomb today. And today we're going to go into the mountains of Syria and the mountains of Syria. Like, what?
Right, yeah, it's going to be exactly 3:40 in the morning. So, I mean, motherfuckers.
Listen, if you want to get away from an American attack in a foreign country, all you need is the goddamn internet. And we tell all the business. Tell all the fucking business. Like, we don't keep anything a secret anymore.
Oh,
the sad
man.
part about it is we do these operations in these countries, and we don't have any plans for the aftermath. There's no strategy there. There's no, how are we going to build this land back up? What are we going to do here? What are we going to do for these people? What security points are we going to put in place afterwards? There's no plan. There's just no plan. You just go on, bomb some shit, and see what happens.
Nigga said, see what happens. Nigga said it's act now, think later.
If you look at our wars, it looked like a bunch of niggas playing spades, talking shit, drew up these plans. Like, hey, motherfucker, I said 6. And by the way, we're going to go into Iraq tomorrow. And we're going to blow up some shit. Hey, nigga, did you just renege? Fuck. But anyway, yeah, we're going to blow up some shit. And just see what happens. That's basically what our plans look like. Some niggas playing spades and throwing shit together just to see what sounds good. Don't know what the fuck they talking about. I mean, shit is sad, man. And at the end of the day, who suffers? The American people. Because now, not only do we look like barbaric idiots, but we look like barbaric idiots with no plans. They can't even put a fucking strategy together. But yeah, again, this whole thing with ISIS, this whole boogeyman thing, this whole they're coming to get us, so we got to bomb on them first before they bomb on us. It's all bullshit. And Americans, stop watching these videos and getting all afraid. They've been cutting off heads for years now. That shit ain't nothing new. Look, I'm not trying to minimize cutting off heads. That's still crazy and shit, right? But it ain't nothing new. And it's been going on. This shit been going on the past 40 years. You think they just started cutting off heads 10 years ago? They've been cutting off heads and torturing motherfuckers. Here's the thing. America has been torturing too. Waterboarding is torture. Not as bad as cutting off heads, but still torture.
Yeah.
It just irritates me how when they throw up a few videos of some heads getting cut off, people start acting like, they ain't never seen anything like this before, and got to go over there and bomb them, and everybody's full war, and kill ISIS, and got to destroy ISIS. Here's the thing, too, man. You got to understand this. Part of the risk you run when you go to these fucking countries is that you will be abducted. And I get that people are going over there for peaceful purposes, to help out the less fortunate, to help out people that are in extreme situations. But again, you understand this is part of the risk. You could possibly be abducted and get your head cut off.
Yeah.
And, when it does happen, the reality, too, is we can't go to war every single time it happens. Or every single time. And here's something else that throws me, too, because whenever they talk about ISIS, they act like this is the most intelligent, well put together band of terrorists we've ever seen in the history of terrorism. They're so well put together, and they have a grip on social media, and they're on Twitter, and they're on Facebook, and they get their message out, and they're on YouTube. You mean they have the internet?
Right.
Like, stop overdoing this shit. They got the internet.
Which everybody has.
Everybody has the fucking internet. You go to the library, they got the internet. Some niggas probably ain't got the good internet. They probably still got dial-up. Like, the government blows everything out of proportion and act as if we're facing some new kind of threat that we've never dealt with ever before in life. And they're sophisticated. Sophisticated? Because they can type? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, so my thing is this, though, now. Is the reason that they're so ready to go to war all the fucking time, is that just because they want to flex our muscles and show who's, the strongest, or is it just because our country is built on war? Is this because they got shit else better to do? Is it a money thing? What's the reason?
I think it's definitely a money thing. I think there's something always to be gained in war. If you look at some of these war-torn areas, there's always a project waiting to happen in terms of the rebuilding. I mean, you look at the Iraq War and groups like Halliburton that were run by Dick Cheney that were getting these contracts to go in there and rebuild parts of Iraq. So there's always money in these wars. Not only that, but it's an excuse to build more weapons, and the weapons makers are obviously making money off of that. It's an excuse to organize in the name of war. There's money to be made in that way. There's an excuse to do unnecessary research. There's money to be made there. So there's always points by which you can make money off these bullshit-ass wars.
Hey, unnecessary research, man. You said it right there, because there's so much shit that we waste money on. I'm talking about our government. Shit that don't even need to be bothered with. I mean, shit that you look at and you say, what? Now, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? There's hungry motherfuckers out here. It's homeless people and shit like that, and you worried about doing research about why cats pee is a certain color. You know what I'm saying? This is dumb shit. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I understand that. Yeah.
Right. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because during George Bush's second run for office, Reverend Al Sharpton was on TV, and they were talking about George Bush, how he had wasted all this money on the Iraq War. And they were talking about how he had started up a plan to go to Mars, do some more research on Mars. And Reverend Al Sharpton said, well, listen, when I'm president, I'll send both him and his father to Mars. Of course, he wasn't going to be president. But it would have been nice to see, man, so we get Bush and the fuck up out of there. But, you're right, man. The amount of money that we spend on stupid shit that could go to the poor and productive research is just amazing. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon or ever, because we got to a point where we're too comfortable with it.
Yeah. And you know what? If anybody out there is listening and you don't know all the stupid things that the government continuously wastes money on, me and Jay will actually do a future segment just to let you know, in proof, what exactly the government has wasted money on. All the money. Their money, our tax dollars, all this stuff is going towards pointless-ass research. And if you don't believe it, we'll show it to you.
Absolutely, man. Another point, Jay just mentioned your tax money. If you really understood how your tax money was being wasted, you would really get out here and start protesting and looking for another way for taxes to be provided and divvied up amongst different research. Because the reality is, they waste a lot of our tax money on bullshit we couldn't care less about at the end of the day. Couldn't care less about. And the thing about it is you don't even really pay tax. Have you noticed this shit? Like, you really don't even pay tax. You go and work and they take that shit.
Yep. Every time you get a check, man, and you see, damn, these motherfuckers took out $200 off of my shit. Fuck. Okay, well, you see all this money that's being taken out of your paycheck, what you earn versus what you actually get. And then take a look at what the government is wasting money on. It's essentially you giving them back money so they can waste it on some pointless bullshit that none of us actually care about.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, what do you get direct from this tax money that they take from your ass? What do you get directly? You don't get no fucking prize. You don't get a prize in the mail. I was out to my mailbox with a fucking prize. Hey, just for you, Jake, pay your tax. I was like, a prize? I don't give a fuck what it is. Nigga, send me the new Jay-Z mixtape, nigga. I don't give a fuck what it is. Send me something. You don't get a goddamn thing. You know what you get for your tax money, nigga? All you get is street lights. You get free fucking all the street light a motherfucker could want. As far as I'm concerned, give everybody a candle and give me my fucking tax money back. Fuck that street light. I like getting my ass in the house. Look at that whole ass street light. That shit don't even be burnt half the time, nigga.
You said half of money to work.
That bullshit ass street light, man. You walk out here and still twist your fucking ankle on the sidewalk because the fucking curb is uneven. Because the motherfucking street light was dim.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, realize what it is that the government is doing. In all ways, I'm not just talking about the tax dollars, but also about these wars and the stories that they feed us. The government always is going to have its own agenda. And the American people, no matter how smart you think you are, no matter how much you think you know, you don't. You don't. There's always more that they will never, ever, ever tell us. And we can guess and speculate and shit like that. But all you got to do is really just pay attention, and you'll figure a lot of it out.
Yep, true that. Hey, J&J Show, Power 1 on Nothing.